to all of her other stuff. Yoga teacher. She's went ahead and got her certification. So I tried to get her to teach, but she wants to start that next week. So anyway, all right, are we ready to roll?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, guys, we're gonna be live.
Okay, everybody, happy Friday.
Happy Friday. So we're so glad to have you here with us on Friday. And we've heard a lot of people say today that they're glad it's Friday. Be nice if we could all be glad that it was every day, like we're happy when it's Friday. But anyway, we're happy that you are here with us today. Hope you are healthy and well where you are. Just remember that during this and or any other yoga practice, nothing should ever hurt, nothing should ever feel like pain or strain at all. So find a place where you can just be still. Nothing asked of you, nothing you have to do, nothing you have to say, nothing you have to think, nothing you have to feel. This is not forced. This is a time where we're just allowed to be still and just breathe and capture the beauty of the moment. So take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, let go of ego, let go of competition, let go of worries and cares, things you can't control. And venture out or in to the present moment. Bring your hands to heart center. And set your intention for your class that at least during the next 45 minutes to an hour that you will just let go of the past, all of the things that you're carrying around with you that are maybe weighing you down, and that you'll not attempt to jump out into the future, trying to reason, trying to analyze, trying to wonder what it may be. But instead, you will find the beauty of the moment. Have that positive affirmation that all is good right here. All is safe right here, right now. All is well at this moment. Let's stay right here in the present moment. Take a deep breath as you breathe in good health and strength, love, contentment, and peace and joy. And as you breathe out, let go of fear, anxiety, worry, resentment. Take one more deep breath in, a cleansing deep breath. And then release that breath. Slowly bring the arms back behind you. Gently open the eyes if you wish. Drop the right ear down towards the right shoulder, always remembering this is ear to shoulder. Feel the stretch occurring in the left side of the neck. Take note of the face and the expression that you're holding. Maybe it's something causing strain or tension. Release. Begin to drop the chin down into the right collarbone, deepening the stretch through the left side of the neck. Now lift the chin up as if gazing to the right of the room. Lift up the right arm and extend it out to that gaze. Remember, reach with fingers. Never strain through the shoulder. Feel the lengthening of the arm. Notice the weight of the arm. Turn the palm skyward. And then lift that arm up and let it flow over bicep, over ear as you stretch through the right oblique now as the arm lifts and lengthens over to the left. Rotate through your wrist. Breathe. Again, extend and lengthen to the right. Lift and reach to the left. Bring back behind you again. Bring over to the right. Warming up through the shoulder here. Turn the palm, lift and lengthen. We don't think about warming up the shoulders, but we do use them quite a bit in our yoga practice. While we're here, drop that right arm down to the left knee and bring the left arm back behind you, moving into your Ardha Matsyendrasana. Always remember to modify. So if anything causes pain or strain, never hesitate to modify into something that feels better to your body. Release the right arm back into its spot. Drop the left ear now down to the left shoulder. And release any desire to move out into this routine that we have started, because now we know we will do the same thing on one side that we have done on the other. Drop the chin down into the left here. So we try to release that rushing out into the future. That's a practice. Remember, there are many, many little practices within our practice that can help us in our everyday life. Lift up through the chin, gazing over to the left here. Take a breath in and a breath out. Extend the left arm out to the left. Remember, reach with your fingers. Opening through the fingers, get a good stretch through the hand here. Turn the palms skyward. Lift up and over to the right. Remember, whenever you reach over the head to increase this stretch here in the oblique, you can always bend through one arm. Taking off any weight and hovering is always going to be more challenging. Again, let that arm come back and circle around. Extend back out to the left. Turn the palms skyward. Lift up and over. Once again, rotate around. Left arm out. Palm rotates and arm reaches up and over. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, gently drop the left arm down to the right knee, bringing the right arm back behind you again, moving into your Ardha Matsyendrasana, half spinal twist. Always remember in your twist, your hips should stay focused. Breathe. Remembering our positive affirmations. All is well in this moment. All is safe. Be right here, right now, where everything is real, where everything is right now, the present. Easing back around. Come to your tabletop. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We begin to rock back and forth gently, just stretching a little more through the obliques here. You're going to feel this up the side of the abdomen. up into the chest. You're going to notice weight into your hands, and this is a good thing. If it bothers you, you can always make a fist or come to your forearms. But if it doesn't, this is a good thing to have this weight bearing. This is excellent, we know now, to building bone and making bone that we have denser, which helps to correct or prevent osteopenia or osteoporosis. We take that right knee and we come in and we extend the left leg out behind us. And when we lift that left leg, it's as if we never lifted it. So we're not leaning to the right. Our head and neck is relaxed. Our hip is not lifted up. It's focused down so that the pelvic bones press towards the floor. Nice. If you can, take that leg and gently bring it out to the left side. Again, trying to stay equal on both hands with weight, which is a challenge. And come back. Then taking that left leg and coming as far over to the right as you can, pushing against the toes, the balls of the feet to get a great stretch as you press that heel outward into your nice leg stretch here. And you feel the oblique on the left side really getting a great stretch. Lift that leg and come back out behind you. If you can, and you choose to, take the right arm and extend it out from you into your tiger. Very much a balanced pose. If this bothers you, feel free to leave both hands on the mat. If you choose to come into this posture a little more, coming into your tiger bow, bring the knee back, bending, reach back with the arm, the opposite arm, grab onto the foot, and begin to push away with foot, and at the same time pull in, stretching through the arm, stretching through the quadricep, improving balance, increasing flexibility, building strength, and release to tiger. Now, release and ease down, rest through that wrist, stretch in your child's pose. Remember, child's pose is a place that we honor the body. Even here in child's pose, we can shift the hips from side to side and stretch through the back, through the oblique, through the arms. Vinyasa. Remember, you can come here anytime you choose. You don't need me to bring you here. Go ahead and lift the sit bones up long enough to take one knee to one edge of the mat and one to the other, and come back into a wide-legged child's pose. Reach the arms a little further out in front of you if you can. Contract through the core, lengthen through the back. Child's pose. Lift the sit bones up and come forward into a wide leg king cobra. Notice the gluteus squeezing naturally to help you to not hyperextend here. So as we push into the hands and as we lift through the heart, we really work the back here, strengthening the back. So know to not push yourself to a point of pain or strain. Know to be careful about any back injuries or issues that you may have. Go ahead and come up onto the toes if you can, and then bring the knees closer together, back into your normal child's pose. Take the chin to the right collarbone. Lift up, bring the chin to the chest, dropping the head down. Lift up, bring your chin down into the left collarbone. And back. Nice. Draw back. Vinyasa, child's pose. Again, walk the fingers forward in your child's pose. Stretch through your arm here. Lengthen through the back. Feel how wonderful it feels for the back to stretch since it's been contracted. And then when you're ready, come back up to your tabletop. Now it's the left knee that draws in a tad, and the right leg extends out. Again, as if you never lifted the leg. Don't tilt the hips. Press the pelvic bones right down to the floor. So keep them focused to the floor. Notice your head and neck. Notice if you are keeping any tension there that doesn't need to be. Make sure your hands are right underneath your shoulders as you maybe extend the right leg out to the right. Try not to shift to the left any more than you can. If you need to set the toes closer to the mat or the floor, you can. And then release that leg and bring it to the opposite side, pushing against the toes and the balls of the feet, feeling that deep stretch down the oblique. This should really feel good. And bring that leg back to the back here. If you choose to come on with us, we're going to move into tiger. So we lift that left arm up, very much a balance pose. And balance is different every day, sometimes different during the day. So don't feel bad if you could do this yesterday or even last week, and today it's a little more challenging, especially with our weather being back and forth and sinuses being off. So we need to remember and not be so hard on ourselves. Be okay with what's today, what's right now. If you choose to, you can bend through the knee, reach back with the arm, grab onto the foot, pull it in and push it out at the same time, creating that bowing of the back, your tiger bow. Again, maybe that's for you, maybe it's not. And back into your tiger and release into your child's pose. Go ahead and turn through the wrists, maybe both. Maybe come to your forearms in your child's pose and just turn through the wrists as you have strengthened your wrist and utilized them quite a bit during those first few asanas or postures. Now is a good time to lubricate them. So movement is lotion. Motion is lotion. Nice. So stay on your forearms, bring your hands together, walk your arms out in front of you just a tad, curl through your toes, push into the balls of your feet, lift your hips up, drop your head in between your biceps. This is your dolphin pose, much like down dog, but on your forearms. Your head is very relaxed. The weight is in your forearms. Shoulders are not feeling any strain. Contracted through the core, lengthening through the back. Go ahead and walk your feet out behind you if you can, and you choose, come into your forearm or dolphin plank. Remember, if you're working on your half or your dolphin plank, you can always just set one knee down and every once in a while lift it, hold it as long as you can, and then move to the other. Nice. Release the body down, open the arms up, palms on the floor, lifting your heart here in your Sphinx pose. Again, contracting through the back. This is a good back strengthener. Breathe. Take a few breaths here and assess the body. If you ventured back into the past, veered out into the future, come back to where we are in the present. Bring the hands once again together. Press into the forearms, begin to lift through the sit bones, walk your toes forward to lift back into your dolphin. Begin to bend through your knees, set the knees on the mat, walk your hands back behind you, open up your chest here. So maybe this feels wonderful to have your sit bones resting on your heels. Maybe it does not. If it doesn't, you can always lift up, curl your toes under, have more of an Achilles tendon stretch. This is where you get to know your body. So you might see Emily or I do something and it might not feel good at all to you. If it doesn't, then modify. We're opening through the chest here. And as we bring the hands forward, then we're going to round through the back. So we've just performed our seated cat and cow, cow and cat. Begin to push the hands to the mat. Lift up on the sit bones, curl through the toes, and lengthen through the legs, walking the hands back into your Uttanasana, forward fold. Uttanasana. And you don't have to have your hands on the floor. Your hands can rest wherever they choose, but you do want a long back here and your core tight. Just allow your upper body weight to really aid you to stretch the back of the legs and contract through the core here. Your slow reverse swan dive, nice and slow. And as you come up, keep your back long and drive the crown of the head behind you, but push the heels into the floor. Feel that nice stretch as you come skyward. Nice full body stretch. Take a deep breath. As you release that breath, come on back down. Slow and controlled. Tight core, long back. Ease slowly down to wherever your hands assume their spot. Once again, a slow reverse swan dive, warming the entire body up here. Come on up. And release back down as you exhale. Tight core, long back, slowly coming down. Nice. Lifting up once again, slow and controlled. This time as you come down, bring your right arm behind you, your left arm front, and ease back down into that gentle twist. Twisting to the right here. Again, a good stretch in the hamstrings. Now lift back up. Same thing on the opposite side here. Twist gently, left arm behind, right arm in front. Breathe. And lift. Inhaling up. Exhale the hands to heart center and find that gift. Find that gift of drawing back, recognizing and living in the present moment. And release the arms down to your side. Go ahead and walk to the top of your mat. Moving into that Vinyasa Flow, a deep inhale as you bring the arms skyward. And exhale as you fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, your hands to your shins, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, the arms back down. Inhaling your left foot back and your right, your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, flowing forward to a plank, whether it be half or full, knees down or knees up. Inhale to your king cobra. Exhale, lift the legs back to your plank. Inhale, lift to your down dog. Exhale, softly walk the feet to the hands, Uttanasana, forward fold. A slow reverse swan dive. Brings you skyward. In your hands, area, heart center. And once again, you take time to ground. Grounding, basically meaning to check in, to draw back, to be here, right now, where all is good, where all is safe, where all is well. Move into a sun salutation. Bring the arms skyward. Swan diving down. Forward fold. Bring your hands to your shins into your Ardha Uttanasana. And then press the hands back down. Forward fold. Take your left knee, bring it into your chest. Extend the left leg behind you. Release that knee down to the floor. Begin to push into your right foot that's in front of you. Your knee is on top of the foot. And then press forward, not so much forward that the knee jets out in front of the foot, but think more forward of the upper thigh and your leg behind you, your left leg. So we're strengthening, we're stretching, lengthening through that psoas, that hip flexor. And then find your way skyward with your arms, whether you come up and push from your leg or whether you're able to just slowly bring the arms up, pushing from the foot, very much a balance move. Breathe. Bring the hands to heart center and gently twist to the right. Noticing the change of the increase of the need of balance. Noticing how you need to really focus on shifting weight into that front foot. Releasing back here. And twisting gently to the left and dropping the right arm down here. Pressing the hand into the mat if you can, bringing the back arm behind you. Again, noticing as we make subtle changes, just like we do every day, all day long, but we don't take time to be aware. So we're being aware here of how we shift weight, of how we stay aware of what muscles we're using and what we need to do to balance when we make these slight changes in our posture. Nice. Now take that back arm behind you, that left arm, bring it forward in front. We come to our lizard. You can lengthen back through the back leg, keeping it on the ground. You can curl through the toes and lift it up. Challenging here, working against body weight. Drop any tension in your head and neck. Let it just relax. Breathe. You can stay here, or you can lift up your right arm and either bring it behind your back or skyward. Take a deep breath in. As you release that breath, allow that right arm to come to the outside of the right leg, back into your lunge. Go ahead and step back into your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Flow forward to a plank. Lift, King Cobra. Ease down, Baby Cobra. Bhujang Asana. Hands are under shoulders, head and neck flat and relaxed. Little to no weight in my hands. In fact, if you choose to do so, release your arms back behind you. Hover them over the mat, palms down. Maybe lift the legs off the mat if you can. This is your Salutation, Locust Pose. Very much a back strengthener, so be very mindful of any issues with your back. Notice your expression on your face. Have a slight smile. Relax through the face. Breathe. And then release the legs back down, the hands back under the shoulders. Push to your plank. After full lift to your downward facing dog. Take your left leg, raise it skyward. Draw the knee into the chest and step forward. Lift and place. Then grab your ankle. Assume your position. Relax your back leg onto the mat. Always make sure your joint on top of joint. So my knee is on top of my foot. Never have that knee jetted out past. It's going to put way too much pressure on your kneecap. And as I think of pressing forward, once again, I'm very mindful not to let that knee jet out, but I'm pressing through the back leg, through the upper thigh, up into my psoas muscle, the hip flexor. This is wonderful to assume after sitting for so long, such a great stretch. If you're able, pick up your hands. You can push from your arm or from your leg, or if you can, just lift. Move into your lower high lunge, I should say. This is usually a high lunge when we're standing, but now we have our legs down. So we're still pressing that upper leg, that upper portion of the back leg forward, because we're getting a great stretch, especially with our lifting of the arms here through the hip flexor. Bring your hands to heart center. Slowly rotate. So now we're rotating to the left here. And again, we notice the need to keep weight in that front foot. Breathe. Maybe we gently drop that right hand down. Bring the back arm behind us or lift it skyward if it doesn't feel good to your shoulder. to have the palm forward, turn it back. Again, modify. This is your practice. I'm just giving you ideas. And whenever you take any kind of yoga practice anywhere, don't ever let anyone tell you you have to do this, unless it's a safety feature, like when we talk about the knee over the foot. But as far as moving into something, never move into anything that doesn't feel good. If your body is screaming at you and saying, don't do that, it's trying to keep you from being injured. There is no need to ever do anything that your body says, don't do that. So now I gently release my left arm down beside my right. I come into that lizard pose, which to me feels great. Hopefully it does to you as well. You want to feel this in your adductor, your inner thigh on the left. You can stay right here. You're getting a great stretch in your leg. You're strengthening your hands. If you do choose to challenge, you're curling through your back toes and lifting up. Now your body weight is really into your hands and you're feeling that into the hands, which is great. And then release your left hand to the outside of the left foot. Lift up a tad and step forward. Lift and place. Your slow reverse swan dive now from your Uttanasana brings you up. Your hands marry at heart center. And you take a breath. And it feels good. And you know that all is good. That all is safe. Right here. That all is well. Right here. In this moment. Move to the opposite top of your mat. Another sun salutation. Bringing the arms skyward, swan dive down, forward fold. Bring your hands to your shins, Ardha Uttanasana. Press your hands back down. It's now the right knee that draws into the chest and extends the leg behind you. And begin to lengthen through the back leg and press the heel down as much as possible and then draw backward, back towards the back so that you lengthen through your front leg and you begin to feel that deep stretch in your hamstring. Allow your head and neck to drop so that your forehead presses towards your shin. And your chest is pressing now towards your upper thigh, not your nose. So you're trying to keep your back long and fold it over your leg, getting that great stretch by the aid of your body weight and your hamstring. Very, very important. And I know you've heard me say this many times, but very important to keep these hamstrings stretched so that you don't have them pulling on your lower back muscles. Go ahead and spin out that back foot so that your toes look at the long angle of the mat. And then take the left hand, bring it to the inside as you climb the right arm skyward into your triangle. Trikonasana. Breathe. Let this be very freeing. Let your head relax. Let all expressions release except for maybe a gentle smile. Triangle, Trikonasana. Release the right arm back down. And as you move your left hand to the outside of your left foot, begin to wiggle the left foot to the right. Just drop the body on top of this bent left leg. If this doesn't feel good for you, this pigeon pose, you can always release the back leg out from behind you and lie on your mat with your knee up over top of you. Same posture, just reclining pigeon instead of up on top with your body weight helping here to stretch through this hip. If you can, I want you to lift up the toes just a tad and press the heel towards the mat and externally rotate that knee on your bent leg. So let that knee kind of rotate out, and you're going to feel a little difference there. So we're trying to increase the stretch in the hip as we do that. Now lift up the hip and press into the toes. Still that external slight rotation of the hip. So see, we're kind of playing with postures and seeing what feels good and what doesn't. Pigeon pose. Nice. Replace the hands, if they're not already on the mat, under your shoulders. Curl through your back toes. Release through that bent leg that you've kept contracted, and lift and lengthen into your down dog. Remember your down dog, your hands are shoulder width apart. Your feet are hip width apart. And you're pressing the heels towards the mat, but they may not make it there, and that's fine if they don't. Your head is relaxed. It dangles in between your biceps. Your shoulders are strong but relaxed. So they're not pushed, you're not hyperextending them. They're not pushed to a point of uncomfort. So in other words, if I press my chest too far down, I'm going to sink through the shoulders. I don't want to do that. I want them to stay strong but relaxed. Kind of like we all want to be strong but relaxed. Go ahead and flow forward to a plank. You can set your knees down and ease down, or you can just slowly come down, which is a challenge. Your chaturanga, and you can practice that up against the wall. Once again, in your baby cobra, Bujang Asana, your hands under your shoulders, shoulder blades reaching towards one another, very little weight in your hands here, head and neck relaxed. Your facial expression, relaxed. If you can here, bend through your knees, reach one arm and the other back, grab onto your feet if you can, push the feet away, pull in with the hands. Into your bow pose, Dhanurasana, bow pose. And release. Hands under shoulders as we push to a half plank or full. Downward facing dog. Now it's the right leg that climbs skyward, the right knee draws in, the right foot steps forward, lift, and place. Nice. Remember, knee on top of foot. Press through the back leg, press the heel down, begin to draw back, lengthening through the front leg, and you immediately feel that great stretch here in the hamstring all the way up to the gluteus. Should feel good. If this does not feel good, set that back knee down and ease down. You can always modify. So remember, I can be here just as well as I can be where we started and still get a great hamstring stretch, and maybe with your body, maybe even a better one by being here. So again, play with postures, you know, move around and see what feels good and what doesn't. Breathe. Begin to turn the back foot so that the toes, once again, look at the long angle of the mat. And then my right hand comes in, my left arm comes either behind me or skyward into your triangle pose. And you're drawing the arm back to open up the chest, but never to the point of pain or strain. And just like Emily just did, and I love to see this when we're all together in class, I love to see people change up. Like I just said, you know, play with the posture. Maybe it feels better for the palm to be pushed back. Maybe it feels better to leave it to the front. Release that left arm back down. Replace the right arm back outside of the foot, and then begin to bend through the knee and wiggle the toe out, moving into our pigeon. Now, maybe on the one side, this wasn't available to you, or maybe it felt better to lie on your back. But maybe this one feels good. All that means is one side it feels good and one side it doesn't. But you learn that. You learn your body, right? Again, here in our pigeon, let's see if we can play with this a bit, maybe lifting the toes, and notice what happens. Maybe you felt a tightening in the muscles in the leg. by pressing the heel down, pressing the outer knee out towards the outside of the mat. Maybe the opposite. Push into the toes, lift the heel up a tad. Let your body weight relax towards the mat, feeling that opening and that stretch in the hip here in Pigeon Pose. Have your hands back on the mat under your shoulders, curl through your back toes. Release that contracted leg back behind you into your plank, lift into your down dog, and then softly walk the feet forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Your slow reverse swan dive lifts you up. Your hands marry at heart center. And once again, we're able to just stop for a moment. We're able to learn, what are we thinking? How do we feel? How does our body feel? Come to the center of your mat. Make your feet a little wider than hip width apart. And then begin to bend through your knees. But as you come down more into the bend, don't think about coming forward to bend. We don't usually do that. When we sit in a chair, we don't usually come forward and press our buttocks back. Instead, we usually come down, come into a squat and come straight down, keeping the crown of the head skyward. And that's what we want to do here. We want to strengthen these quadriceps. You still want your knees on top of your feet. Very important. And I want you to bend enough that you never feel pain or strain, but that you feel the muscles in your gluteus and your quadriceps engaging. Now I want you to take this left leg, keep your squat and bend in your right, and step forward. So maybe it's a very small step. Still bending in this leg, knees still on top of foot. Get a great stretch in that hamstring. Push the buttocks back behind you. Don't hold your breath. Now take that leg and step out to the side, a side lunge. Monitor that knee. Can't say that enough. Knee needs to be on top of foot. Now step that leg back behind you. Keep that lunge. We're working with balance, obviously. We're building strength. We're increasing flexibility. And we're improving balance. Come back to the center. Nice. You should feel that. You should feel where you have fatigued the muscles a bit. And this is a good thing. This is where we get stronger. Step out. Small step, right foot. And in the left. Lengthen through the leg. Press the buttocks behind you. Keep the core tight. Breathe. Step out. Side lunge. Feel this nice stretch in the adductor once again on your right. Keep pushing in. Push your weight to the left. Then come back behind you. Step behind. And forward. Uttanasana, chair pose. See if you can slowly bring the arms down, not leaning forward. Keep the head up, press the buttocks back and down, knees on top of feet. Now come up. Don't come up out of your squat though, just lift the arms. Again, slow and controlled. Coming down, press the buttocks back and down. And come up. Keep your squat. Couple more times, come down. And come up. And last time. Nice. Moving back up into your Uttanasana chair pose. Hands to heart center, and we extend up into a full body stretch. Should feel good. And release. Take your right foot, pick it up off the ground. Now, if you're working on balance, or if today, because of your sinuses or allergies or anything, that your balance is off and you know that, then don't push yourself so hard. Keep your toes towards the mat, or have something that you can hold on to if you need to. Otherwise, lift that foot up, but don't lean. So we learn to shift and adapt without compromising. When you compromise, you're gonna compromise a joint, or you're gonna put strain somewhere. So if I lift and lean, I'm gonna strain this hip, right? We wanna lift and adapt. So we're teaching the mind and the body to shift slow, controlled, and safely. The more I lift the knee, the more I draw in the abdomen. Bring those elbows back. And the more you bring the elbows back, the more you lift the knee. So open the chest. Nice. Now slowly come into your warrior three. Extend the leg back behind you. Extend the arms out in front. Slow and controlled. Do that again. Draw the elbows back. Lift the knee. Again, we're increasing flexibility. We're strengthening. And we're improving balance. Leg behind, arms in front. Virabhadrasana 3. Very much a balanced posture. Now from here, and we've done this before, lift the arms up, lower the legs slowly, and don't set that leg down until you come all the way up. So at one point it almost feels as if one leg is shorter than the other. Then set it down. All the while strengthening this leg. Increasing flexibility in this one. Building strength. Once again, lift up the left leg. Again, try not to shift. Try to teach the mind through practice. Remember, renewing the mind takes practice. Whatever you're renewing takes practice. So as I lift the leg, I try to not lean, but shift. And I begin to lift it more and more and tighten the core more and more. Utilize that core. Draw the elbows back. The more the elbows come back, the more the leg lifts. Breathe. And then extend the leg behind you, the arms in front of you. Slow and controlled. Breathe. Virabhadrasana 3. Warrior 3. Parallel body over the floor. Hip is not lifted, both hips focus to the floor. Then draw the knee back, lift them, or draw the knee up, bring the elbows back. Once again, slow and controlled. Leg back, arms forward. Try not to lift that hip. Relax through your head and neck. Once again. Elbows back, knee lifts. We'll see through this practice. We learn slow, controlled movements. We learn to be aware. The mind learns a new norm. Very important. The mind likes norms. As we lift out of our warrior 3, we slowly come up, really straining in a good way that right leg, I should say strengthening that right leg, and then shake it off. Whatever you do, practice balance every day. Come to the top of your mat. We're going to wind this down. Bring the arms skyward, swan dive down, forward fold. Feel how good. Try not, even if you can bring your hands all the way to the floor, don't do it. Let them just dangle as if you were a rag doll from the waist up. Feel the weight of the body, just being able to release and hang, the freedom there. Same thing with your head and neck. Just relax it. Core is tight. Face is relaxed. Breathe. Hands marry the mat. And step out to the left edge of the mat and the right into a wide stance. Begin to bend through your knees. Come down as much as you can. So this is a squat. Again, knees on top of feet. If you're able to do so, come all the way down to a seated squat. If you're not, you can go ahead and set your sit bones onto the mat. If you are in this seated squat, take your elbows and push against your inner knee. Bring your hands to heart center as you wedge the hands down. So that resistance of pushing the inner thigh away, but the knees pressing in at the same time. A great hip opener, a great strengthener. From here, and this might be very challenging. If you need to put your hands down, you can. But from here, see if you can lift the heels up and balance. And ease back down. Nice. Bring the arms back behind you and crab walk back till you get to the center of your mat. And stay right here for a moment. So turn your fingers so that they're pointing towards the front of your mat. Make sure your hands and your arms are shoulder width apart. Your feet are hip width apart. Begin to lift the buttocks up. Feel the stretch, not only as the gluteus squeezes, but feel the stretch in the arms. And then if you can, relax your head back and let it dangle. If it feels better to keep the chin into the chest, do it. But feel the stretch, your shoulders, your biceps, your triceps. Nice. Slowly ease the buttocks down. Try to push it as close to the heels as you can. And then come to your forearms. Take your right foot, place it on top of your left upper thigh. And then press that right knee out as you flex through the right foot. Stretching that piriformis. Keep your core tight. Try to keep your hip bones focused to the ceiling. So see, you're resisting the tendency to lean over to the right. Nice. Now extend that right leg skyward. Get a good stretch here. Feel the core tighten because you lifted one leg up. Rotate through that ankle. Motion is lotion. And then go ahead and slowly lower that leg, a flexed foot. Lower it slowly. Hover over the floor if you can. Then raise. Slow and controlled. Lower it and push through the heel. And then let's lift. Slow and controlled. Again, lower. And lift. Nice. Set that foot back down. Now it's the left foot coming up onto the right knee, leg. Stretching that piriformis. Remember, anytime you make the number 4, that's what we're doing, and this is a good thing. We need to keep that piriformis strong and lifted up off of that sciatic nerve, which lies right underneath it. Again, avoid the tendency to lean to the left here. Keep the hip bones focused forward. Let that knee flare out. Tighten through your core. Nice. Now lift the leg up, rotate through the ankle. Should feel good. And then slowly with the flexed foot, slowly lower. Work against body weight here. Hover if you can. And lift. Slow and controlled. Lower. And lift. Last time. Lower. Really flex your foot. Really press through the heel. And lift. Nice. Bend through the knee. Set the foot down. Make sure the heels are up close to the buttocks, and then ease your back down to the mat. If your heels aren't up against the sit bones as close as they can be, walk them that way. Your arms are long beside you on the mat. Your palms are down, and you begin to push into the feet and lift the buttocks up, lengthening through the body. And you naturally feel the shoulders roll back and your shoulder blades reaching towards one another, but you can always increase this by lifting one arm and rolling it under, and lifting the opposite arm and rolling it under, and then just interlacing your fingers as you push through the feet. You feel the gluteus tighten and squeeze. This is your bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. Take a few breaths here and just enjoy this. This is a great posture. If you choose, you can always bring the arms above the head if that feels good to you. You get a little bit better stretch through the trunk of the body. Really push through the feet. If you choose to, though, you can lift the heels up. Of course, you took off body weight, so then you're going to feel the core tighten, and it's a little more challenging. Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose. And then slowly lower the sit bones down. Extend one arm out to one side, one to the other as you bend through the knees, and allow the knees to come to the left into your twist. Feel the vertebra open and breathe. Use the core to tighten, to help you lift up so you don't strain your back. Now the knees float to the opposite side. Once again, feel the vertebra breathe and open. And then tighten through the core, lift through the knees, bring the knees into the chest. Give them a hug here. Rock back and forth gently, maybe a time or two. Hopefully this won't be your last hug today. Lift your legs up into your up the wall pose, always beneficial. Such a great thing to do every day, especially before you go to bed. Just allow that blood flow to travel gently to the brain. Maybe crisscross through your ankles and gently push the legs towards you a bit, pressing the lower spine down to the mat. And the opposite, one leg in front of the other now. And then bend through knees and extend the legs out, lower back to the mat. Find Shavasana, Yoga Nidra. Deep relaxation. Breathe. Begin to slowly bring movement back. Maybe a gentle turn in your wrist. Maybe the toes need to wiggle. Take a deep breath in and release that breath. And visualize releasing things you don't need. Take a good deep breath in and visualize those things that you want brought into the body. Good health, strength, contentment, joy, and peace. Rotate onto one side or the other, and as you breathe out, push with the opposite arm and bring yourself up to that seated position where we all began just a little while ago. Bring your hands to heart center and remember our positive affirmation for the day. I am right here in the present moment. This is where I live. This is where I need to be. All is good here. All is safe here. All is well here. Locust samasta sukhino bhavantu means may the entire universe be filled with peace, joy, love, and light. I always hope you feel these things, not just here in your yoga practice, but everywhere you are, hopefully in the present moment. And I hope we all go out and share these things with others. Namaste. Thank you so much for your time with us today. We hope you're all well, and we hope to see you back here on Tuesday. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you, Craig.